football. We took it to the playoffs. Collinsville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House. The school of champions, we laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapest crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play no sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen, sophomores,
High school, champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good morning, everyone, as we welcome you to Kahok Stadium here on this beautiful Thursday morning that is going to turn into a not-so-beautiful Thursday afternoon as we have thunderstorms on the move in the forecast. Therefore, this game was moved from a 6:30 start to an 11 a.m. start. My name is Todd Duke. Glad that you're with us here on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you ready for the season finale in girls soccer between Collinsville and O'Fallon. And we welcome you in to the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show, brought to you by the fine folks at Cullip Jennings Florist, a staple in the Collinsville area for generations. Cullip Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. You can give them a call at 344-0404 or check out their new website. It is located at cullipjennings.net. Kahawks come into this contest with an overall record of 10-6. They are 5-4 in the Southwestern Conference, and they are coached by their third-year head coach, Chris DiGirolamo, who comes in with an overall record of 19-17-2 in his 2+ years of work. O'Fallon, they are 12-2 on the year, and they are 8-1 in the Southwestern Conference and have already clinched at least a tie for the Southwestern Conference title. That depends on what happens here today and what happens between Edwardsville and Alton also playing today, as the O'Fallon Panthers have a one-game lead over the Edwardsville Lady Tigers coming into today's play. O'Fallon coached by Justin Judasak. He's in his fourth year, and he brings with him a 28-25-4 record. Collinsville comes in averaging about 1.8 goals scored per game, while O'Fallon, they're on fire offensively. 3.5 goals per game on average is what they score, and if you think that's impressive, their defense and their goalkeeping is even more impressive, as O'Fallon comes in not even allowing a half a goal per game at 0.4. Collinsville comes in on the defensive side allowing 1.6 goals against per game. So let's talk about what these two teams have done recently. Kahawks are coming off of their second win in a row with Tuesday's 2-1 win at at Alton, and Collinsville has now won 7 of their last 9 games. O'Fallon, they are coming off a 3-0 win at Belleville East on Tuesday. That followed just their second loss of the year, a 2-0 loss at Triad, and that loss snapped a 10-game winning streak that followed the only other loss of the year, a 2-1 loss at Edwardsville, and that was game number 2 of this current season. 11 of O'Fallon's 12 wins have come via the shutout. That's right, I said 11 of their 12 wins have come via the shutout. Only 5 goals allowed all year by O'Fallon. The 2-1 loss to Edwardsville I just mentioned, the 2-0 loss at Triad, and the only time they've allowed a goal when they've won a game was the 1 goal they allowed to Alton in a 5-1 O'Fallon win, and that was just this last Thursday. These two teams did meet earlier in the year. They met at O'Fallon back on April the 27th, and that was a 5-0 win by the O'Fallon Panthers. 5 goals on 11 shots on goal for O'Fallon. The Kahawks only managed 3 shots on goal in that entire contest. And a little bit of history. Of course, we have a little history for you. We always do a little history lesson here on the Kahawk Sports Network. Collinsville owns an overall record at 19-5-2. The playoffs, Collinsville is 5-4 against O'Fallon. So overall, over the last 21 years, Collinsville has won 24 games, while O'Fallon's only won 9. And the two teams tied the 2 times. The 2019 season saw them split. Collinsville lost 1-0 at home and then won 2-1 on the road at O'Fallon. The last playoff meeting, well, that was the year that the Lady Kahawks ran all the way to second place in state. The regionals were here at Collinsville. They beat O'Fallon 8-1 in the regional semifinal game, and that started that year's playoff push that ended with that second place finish at state. The last tie was a 1-1 tie in March of 2008, and also that other tie the year before that was a 0-0 tie in 2007. So now you pretty much know all I do. Here is a rundown of what the soccer playoffs look like when they get underway next week. Actually, the first game is going to be Tuesday, June the 1st. That is going to feature Springfield Southeast at Alton, and that's a 6 o'clock game on Tuesday. And then the winner of that game will then have to travel to O'Fallon to take on these Lady Panthers. That'll be on Wednesday, June the 2nd, so 6 days from now. No times yet. At least I didn't have them on my current sheet that I had printed out. But that game is going to be Springfield Southeast or Alton, whoever wins the first game at O'Fallon. And then the day's second game will feature Granite City at Belleville West. And then 2 winners of those 2 games will meet up for the regional championship on Friday, June the 4th. Collinsville is in the other regional, and they will be taking on Belleville East here at home, and that will take place Wednesday at 7 p.m. The other regional semifinal going on that day finds Quincy at Edwardsville, so the winners of those 2 games will again meet on Friday, June the 4th. So Wednesday, June the 2nd, we have a doubleheader for you. We'll be over at the sports complex, the Collinsville Sports Complex, to do Lady Kahawk softball playoffs at 4:30, and then we'll pack everything up and come back over here for the Belleville East Collinsville regional semifinal game that's scheduled at 7 o'clock. By the way, the winners of both the regionals will play in the Normal Community High School sectional that's scheduled to get underway on Tuesday, June the 8th, with the sectional championship game scheduled for Friday, June the 11th. So now you are definitely caught up with everything I know. The only thing I don't know are the starters for this contest. But we're going to take our first break here on the Cullip Jennings Flores pregame show, and when we come back, I'll have those starters for you, and we'll cover that area of expertise in just a moment here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Flores, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Flores has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Cullip Jennings Flores is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Flores is there for any life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Flores, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at cullipjennings.com.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place World Champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
Drink it in. Powerful, vibrant, nutrient-rich fuel for healthy, active, experience-rich lives. Each ingredient chosen carefully, every blend crafted masterfully. Nurturing your passion, nourishing your purpose. So you can be your best self, live your best life, and rule the day.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Call Up Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you set for this girls soccer season finale for both of these teams. Collinsville taking on O'Fallon, and we'll take a look at your starting goalkeepers right now. The starting goalkeeper for O'Fallon is going to be senior Grace Vincent, and Grace on the year has played 880 minutes. She is 10-1 on the season, 9 shutouts, and all of them solo shutouts. She's only the other goalkeeper has the other shutout. And on the year, Grace Vincent has a goals against average of 0.09 and a save percentage at 98%. That is an unbelievable save percentage, 98% on the save percentage category. For Collinsville, they will be putting Sydney Summer back in between the pipes as Jenna Feldman is still trying to recover from an injury. So Sydney on the year, 403 minutes played. She is 3-2 on the year. She has one shutout, and that was a shared shutout along with Jenna Feldman. And on the year, Sydney Summer has allowed 9 goals for a 1.79 goals against average and 28 saves in the process. And her save percentage is right around 76%. And here are the rest of what we know is going to be on the field with these two clubs in front of Grace Vincent for O'Fallon. You will find Avery Christopher, Aubrey Mister, who leads her team in goals scored. We'll get to some of the numbers a little bit later. Bronwyn Bear also out there on the field. Caitlin Naust, Olivia Ori, Calissa Strobing, Josie Neuroda, Mackenzie James, Kylie McMinn, and Becca Koenig. In front of Sydney Summer for Collinsville, you will find Jada Parrish, Megan Jeremias, Morgan Rader, Olivia Johnson, Maria Siverly, Lexi Munoz, Sarah Hinsey, Georgia Cox, Maria Voss, and Jordan Gary. Collinsville, of course, again coached by Chris DiGirolamo. Fallon coached by Justin Judasak, and some of the other numbers that we have for you. How about team leaders in goals? Well, we hinted at that. Aubrey Mister has 20 goals on the year for O'Fallon. Avery Christopher is in second place in that category with 13, so a big difference between number 1 and number 2 for Collinsville. A little bit tighter in the race for team leading score, but right now that is being held by Morgan Rader. She has put 8 in the net so far this year, and Megan Jeremias, they were tied for a while, and now Megan has been stuck at 5 for a while, so we hope she can get off of that and maybe get a couple of goals here today against a very, very tough O'Fallon team. As far as overall points are concerned, Morgan Rader leads that category for Collinsville as well. She has a couple of assists to go along with her goals, so she has 18 points. And Aubrey Mister, well, she only has 1 assist, but you add the goals in, which is 2 points apiece, and that's 41 points on the year. And Avery Christopher helping out a lot with Aubrey Mister's goals, as Avery has chipped in 10 assists for the O'Fallon Panthers, and you add that with her 13 goals, and that's a point total of 36. These two teams about ready to square off. They're being introduced to the crowd now, and we'll have the national anthem, and then we'll get to some action. So all that will be coming your way in just a moment as we continue here for this season finale between Collinsville and O'Fallon here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home or business, whether that's tree trimming and maintenance, brush removal, power washing, gutter cleaning, and leaf raking and removal. AW Outdoor Solutions can handle that and much more. AW Outdoor Solutions is fully insured and offers free estimates on all of their work. AW Outdoor Solutions. Call Adam Welly at 314-252-8010 or on Facebook at AW Outdoor Solutions.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number 1 on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. I'm Todd Duke. Glad that you're with us here on the Kahok Sports Network. We're just about ready to go between O'Fallon and Collinsville. O'Fallon, a tough team this year. Matter of fact, looking at all their stats, kind of reminds me of the Kahawks back when Clay Smith was in charge of the program. And stellar defense, stellar goalkeeping, and opportunistic goal scoring. That was the recipe for success back in those days in the 3 straight trips to the state finals. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That was the result of all those 3 years. Not particularly in that order, but you get the idea. Kahawks are wearing their purple uniforms today, trimmed in a little white. They have the numbers on the backs and the fronts in white, and a little Kahawk logo over their heart. And for the O'Fallon Panthers, they are dressed in all white today. They have on their royal blue numbers on the backs and the front, and the word Panthers across the fronts of their jerseys. Sydney Summer will be patrolling the goal to your left. She has on the bright highlighter-looking yellow jersey on. And over here on the right-hand side is Grace Vincent. She is dressed all in the dark royal blue for the O'Fallon Panthers. And in the middle of the field is Morgan Rader. And there's the whistle. We are underway. Last game of the year for these two teams. Playoffs start Wednesday for both of these clubs. And as O'Fallon has to wait to find out who they're going to face in their first round between Springfield Southeast and Alton. Collinsville already knows they're getting Belleville East here on their home turf next Wednesday evening. Play goes on to the far side and bounces into the Kahawk bench. O'Fallon with the throw-in from all the way over there, and that is Bronwyn Bear. She throws it in, and Alexi Munoz holds off her closest competitor, and Collinsville in their defense tries to kick the ball out of the offensive zone for O'Fallon. But O'Fallon, as we mentioned, they're dangerous. They scored 5 goals against Collinsville in the earlier matchup at O'Fallon. As another one goes into the Kahawk bench. And another throw-in coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers. We'll be back here tomorrow morning around the same time. The big Collinsville Kahawk Boys Track and Field Invitational. We'll be here all day. And looks like it's going to be a cool day to hold a track and field invitational. We're going to go from the mid-80s today to maybe 60 tomorrow. That forecast keeps on changing. Play at midfield. Rader trying to keep the ball in. She can't, so another throw-in coming up here for O'Fallon. This time, it'll be Mackenzie James who will throw it in. Actually, this is a free kick from midfield. She puts a leg into it, sends it all the way back down into the Fallon Panthers offensive zone. Collinsville trying to get it back out and tilt the field a little bit. So far, all the play has taken place right around here. Nothing too deep yet. No shots on goals, but Collinsville having a hard time getting it out of their defensive zone. They try to find Hinsey, but can't. That ball is picked off, and O'Fallon continues to push forward. There is Naroda, and back to the Collinsville defense it goes, and then Morgan Rader gets a hold of it and sends it all the way over onto the far side sideline, and trying to race it up is Olivia Johnson. She can't, sends it back to the defense, and O'Fallon takes over and tries to take another push into the offensive zone, but there is Lexi Munoz, the stellar defender for Collinsville, to send that ball back the other way. Now at midfield, Collinsville takes over, and a whistle will stop that action right there. And O'Fallon gets the restart, sends it over in front of the Collinsville bench. Defense trying to send it up to the offense. Forwards haven't had a lot of touches yet. And then up that far side sideline, Collinsville's defense kicks it on back and to Ori. Now up for the front of the 18-yard box. O'Fallon gets it in the box. And then they circle over here on the left wing. And coming around on that left side is Aubrey Mister. Her shot blocked out, and we'll have a restart here on a corner kick by O'Fallon. Aubrey Mister, 20 goals on the year. 5 game-winning goals. And over here on this near side quarter, it'll be Kylie McMinn who will take this, but she's just going to tip it on over to Mister. And then back over to the other side for McMinn. Her shot goes well wide, and Collinsville will get a goal kick restart here to get things going again. Just underway. Just 3.5 minutes in. No score between Collinsville and O'Fallon. Sydney Summer will send the ball out. Wind is coming right at the press box, so it's blowing across the field from east to west. So nothing behind the ball that'll give it any push north or south. But keep your eye on that because that wind will mess with the ball and change its direction. Nice pickoff move there. And Collinsville brings the ball up. That is Maria Voss. But Voss sends it right into the feet of Koenig. And now O'Fallon begins another offensive push forward. Here is Ori again. Ori sends it up, and Collinsville picks it off. Kahawks trying to bring it up. They have not gotten past midfield yet until now, but trying to track down the ball is Jeremias, and she can't. Nice couple of moves there by Koenig to keep control of the ball. She sends it back up to midfield to Mister. Mister cuts across the middle, sends a nice pass up and splits a couple of Kahawk defenders, but it's offside as Avery Christopher got that ball just ahead. 35-25 left to play here in this first half. Early start for the day, trying to avoid the storms. Have not heard anything about a cancellation of the baseball game yet, but as soon as I do, of course, I'll pass that along to you. And if by some chance the skies clear up and we don't get any rain, well, I'll be going over to the baseball field and we'll bring you a baseball game this afternoon. Voss sends it back past midfield, but it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to belong to O'Fallon, right below our location. And the throw in coming from Koenig and up to Mister. And Jeremiah saves it, tries to feed Rader with a pass, but that one's picked off by Koenig, and Koenig will come up through the heart of midfield and get taken off the ball by Sarah Hinsey. Hinsey will send the ball back to her defense, and the defense will send it up, trying to spring Jeremias over here on the right wing, but there is James to send the ball back to the goal, but it comes out for Morgan Rader. And now Jeremias in on the act. Here is Jordan Gary. Gary shoots, but that one was well wide. Just missed the edge of her foot there and goes wide with 34-20 left to play here in this first half. Track and field for you tomorrow. Kahawk softball for you Saturday morning. And then we have some baseball for you Tuesday afternoon to close out the regular season before all the playoffs get underway. Tonight was supposed to be senior night for the baseball team, so if that game ends up being canceled, they'll most likely just do senior night on the Tuesday game against Nashville. Here is Aubrey Mister racing around Jordan Gary. And then a miscue there by Collinsville gives the ball back to the O'Fallon Panthers. And here is Naroda in the circle in the middle of the field. She'll feed a pass over onto the far side. And O'Fallon working that offensive magic, trying to work their way into the offensive zone, but they'll have to wait just a moment as that ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Kahawks. And then over on the far side, Collinsville, Sarah Hinsey tries to keep the ball alive and gets it up to Gary, and it just another miscue, and then a save by Sydney Summer. Stopped that one with her calf. Squeezed those legs together, and it got stuck right between the two calves. So the first shot on goal, really, is a save by Sydney Summer, and O'Fallon continues their push again. Here is Mister. Aubrey Mister will send the ball up the sideline to Koenig. Koenig breaks in from the left wing, looking for a crossing, and she got one, and it's in the middle, but nothing there but Kahawks to kick it on out. Comes out to Jordan Gary. Gary will feed the ball up to Jeremias. Jeremias, she's got some speed, trying to break away from McMinn. Sends the ball over for a pass for Rader, but a little bit too far. And it comes over to the other side, and in front of the O'Fallon bench, Panthers send the ball up to a wide open forward over on the deep right wing. But the defense for Collinsville closes up quickly and keeps that ball from getting any farther. Now it does inside the 18-yard box over on the far side until it's booted out of bounds by Siverly. Well, didn't get directly out of bounds, did it? Nice save over there. Collinsville brings it back up through midfield. Jordan Gary collects the pass at the midfield circle. Turns upfield. Tries to feed Rader, but again, too far for Morgan to get a hold of it. And Knaust will take care of it for O'Fallon. Sends it up onto the foot of Bear. And then over onto the far side sideline, right in front of her bench for Ori. Back to Bear. Ori now at midfield. Sends it back to the defense. And McMinn. About 31 and a half left to play here in this first half. No score thus far. And here is a chance for Mister. She comes in from the left wing, gets stripped up a little bit, keeps her composure. And now she has another defender, Maria Voss, all over her back. And then Mister will turn and put one toward the middle, but that's picked up by Olivia Johnson and sent back out and then off of the head of the O'Fallon player, and it's going to be a Collinsville throw-in. Despite the argument from Becca Koenig. And Olivia Johnson will throw it in here for Collinsville. We have our first substitutions. Collinsville will bring in 3 players. Olivia Fluss is one of those, as well as Lainey Belandis. And I believe Evie Hood. Yep, Evie Hood is in there. Couldn't see her number on the front. Numbers on the front are so much smaller than the numbers on the back. Until they turn around, I have a hard time seeing who's who. Another throw in by Johnson here, just below our location. And off of the head of Mister and back out of bounds. I know a lot of you folks are watching from work today, aren't you? Thursday afternoon, they moved the game, and they're like, I got to work. Well, I'll just put it up on my screen here, and no one will know the difference, right? I won't tell if you won't tell. There's a bank shot off of the body of Morgan Rader. And out of bounds. Over to Jordan Gary. Gary circles, tries to flip the ball up to Belandis, but she didn't get enough of it this time. And O'Fallon's defense will take over, and they'll send the ball over to the far side for Bear. Bear trying to race around her defender. That's Evie Hood. Bear having her way, but then off of Hood. Comes to midfield and picked up there by Lydia Fluss. Fluss sends the ball over to Georgia Cox. And that one's going to go all the way back to Sydney Summer, and she'll just boot that thing back out to midfield. The wind will keep it in play. Guarantee if there wasn't a wind blowing in that direction, that ball probably would have went out of bounds. Back to the defense now for O'Fallon. First 10 minutes of this first half expired. As we approach 29 minutes left to play in a thus far scoreless first half. Over here on the near side, Koenig. Koenig will send the ball up into the front of the box, and racing out to get it before Ori could get there is Sydney Summer. She'll scoop it up and send us back to a start after this goal kick restart. High. Back out to midfield, but sent right back into the offensive zone by the O'Fallon Panthers. Maria Voss trying to wrestle that ball away. And then a ball banked off a couple of O'Fallon players. Collinsville keeps it, and they try to keep it inbounds, but nothing doing there for Belandis. And the O'Fallon Lady Panthers with a throw-in. Here is Koenig down to Aubrey Mister. Mister circles around and puts it up into the middle where it's picked off by Collinsville. Clay Smith, what's up, sir? And back over here in front of our location for James. And a turnover. Gives it up for Belandis. Belandis trying to work it up for Morgan Rader. Rader doesn't seem like she's got that normal speed that she usually has out there. At least not yet. Maybe she's saving herself. Here's James. James sends the ball back up to midfield for Mister. Off of her body and picked up by Lydia Fluss. Fluss gets it over to Jordan Gary. Gary has the ball taken off of her foot. Almost found Morgan Rader anyway, but instead the defense takes over, and here is Knaust. She'll bring the ball up to midfield where it's picked off there by Collinsville's Georgia Cox, and Cox will send it back down, and a bouncing ball into the 18-yard box will bounce right to Grace Vincent. She'll set it down, and O'Fallon begins another push toward the offense. Over here to this side. Koenig works it up the sideline. Sends one into the front, partially tipped there by Voss, but still manages to find the foot of Naroda. Then back out to midfield we go. And James lets the ball go out of bounds. Throw in to Mister. Aubrey Mister circles, trying to get around Flush. She does so. Now gets it past Voss. Up in front, here comes a chance by Naroda and blocked out by Munoz. And then a little wrestling move there by Maria Voss. She just flipped Mister over her back. And the ball ends up back at midfield. Here is Knost once again. The defender for O'Fallon sends it up. It's picked off there by Georgia Cox for Collinsville. Georgia stops, sends it back to the defense, and the defense will send it on up, but that ball's picked off again by Bear. Gary and Fluss couldn't control that one. And now once again, O'Fallon back on offense, trying to bend a pass in there to Avery Christopher, but it didn't find her. And now back up to Fluss. Fluss trying to wrestle the ball away, sends it back to the defense. And then Fluss gets it back and ricochets off the ankles of McMinn. And then O'Fallon gets it back, but Collinsville returns the favor, and they move it up. Here is Jordan Gary. Gary in the middle of the field, tries to leave it up there for Belandis to chase it down, but Belandis couldn't, and it'll be sent back to Vincent off of the foot of James. Vincent sends the ball back out to midfield. Fluss sends it right back. Jordan Gary uses the head, gets it even closer. Now Belandis is there, along with Fluss and Rader. Rader couldn't corral it. Now she does. Shot, and that one's going to go wide. And the only shots toward the goal so far for Collinsville have gone wide. 25-25 left to play here in this first half. Scoreless thus far between Collinsville and O'Fallon. Grace Vincent. Van Dyke and Jeremias into the game. Jeremias back in. Van Dyke in for the first time. And here is Aubrey Mister for O'Fallon. Trying to be flanked by Siverly. Didn't give up a step, did Maria. Or Mariah, excuse me. Now Sydney Summer will take control of the ball. Some of the track and field athletes are here, getting some last-minute work in before they have their big track meet tomorrow. We'll have that for you. 10:45 pregame. Everything gets underway at 11 o'clock. Here is Fluss. Fluss sends the ball up and trying to find Van Dyke, and that ball just eluded her. Back to Vincent it goes, and Vincent will send the ball up to James. James begins her push toward midfield. James still dribbling the ball. Gets around Fluss. Trying to hold off Fluss until a little step-in job there by Collinsville's defense keeps that ball from getting any farther. Siverly sends it up to midfield. And then back over here for Aubrey Mister, and she'll just flick the ball up to Naroda, and that ball ends up in the stands. You don't see too many of the soccer balls in and up in the stands. Throw in coming up here for O'Fallon, but the Panthers make their first substitutions of the day. Avery Taki comes in. As does Ella Peterson. Back to action. Collinsville. Maria Voss pops the ball up. Jordan Gary trying to use the head to get it down on her foot and send it forward. She can't, but it finds Van Dyke. Van Dyke will send the ball over here to Belandis, and Belandis gets taken off the ball. Nicely done there by Becca Koenig. And Koenig races up this near side sideline into the right wing, trying to get around her defender, and that is Siverly, and Siverly does a great job with that defense, and then she gets taken down. No call on the play, but a loose ball will find Jordan Gary almost. Jordan couldn't quite get there in time, and now it comes out to Van Dyke. Van Dyke wrestles around, and that ball gets sent out of bounds, and it'll belong to Collinsville. Kahawks will have a throw in here by Siverly. And it gets sent right back to Mariah. Off of the head of Gary. Van Dyke trying to settle it down, and she can't. Picked up by the defense once again here for O'Fallon. That is Knost. All the way up the sideline on the far side to Naroda. And in front of the Kahawk bench, Naroda still keeping that ball in. Sends it once again back to Knost, and she'll send it up the line. right past the Kahok bench, and the Kahawks will find it, and then Jordan Gary gets pushed down from behind by McMinn. That does draw a whistle, and Collinsville will get a free kick from about 60 yards away from the goal that they're trying to put that ball into. Just a little less than 22 minutes to go here in this first half. Scoreless between Collinsville and O'Fallon. That ball will roll all the way to Vincent. And the defense for O'Fallon brings it back upfield. Aubrey Mister with it. Right underneath our location, but she couldn't control it, so Collinsville will have a throw-in right here at midfield. Ball girl needs to get off of her phone so she can pay attention to what she's doing. Syverly to throw it in for Collinsville. Does so. And over here on this near side sideline, Flush trying to wrestle it away from Christopher. Can't do it. And then Maria Voss will send the ball back out to Sydney Summer. Summer will pop the ball straight up in the air. The wind pushes it toward the sideline. Syverly settles it down for a moment. And Collinsville back to work. Fluss with it over here on the near sideline. Reverses course. And then will send the ball back to her defense. Over here to Syverly. Syverly sends the ball up to Cara Van Dyke. Van Dyke gets pushed from behind and loses the ball, and O'Fallon takes over. Here is Mister. Mister will send it back out to midfield for the defense, and McMinn will send the ball up. Picked off there by Jeremias. Jeremias has that burst of speed. She's got a little bit of room, and then she'll get past one more defender trying to find Gary over there on the far side, but three defenders closed in on Jeremias, and she was doomed after that. Here comes O'Fallon. Back the other way we go. Here is McMinn. McMinn circles and has the ball taken from her on another great defensive move by Alexi Munoz, but O'Fallon retains possession, and they'll send it up to the goal, and a easy save there for Sydney Summer. Halfway through the first half. No score between Collinsville and O'Fallon. 20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go. Ball sent back out to midfield. Defense for O'Fallon takes over. Knost with it. Through midfield with a pass. Up, and that one's past everyone, and Summer will come out and take care of that one. Sydney Summer surveys things before she sends it back into play. Then she'll just pick the ball up as Morgan Rader waits to check back in over on the far side sideline. She'll get her opportunity right now. So Rader checks in. Lydia Fluss checks out. Throw in coming up here for the Lady Kahawks. It'll be taken care of by Maria Syverly. Syverly throws the ball in. Jordan Gary couldn't corral it. Morgan Rader does. Rader up the sideline. She tried to flick it ahead for Belandis, but didn't get enough on it. And that allowed James to get there first. And now Vincent will just send it back over to James. Back up toward midfield. O'Fallon with it. Send it up just outside the circle for Koenig. Koenig to Mister. Aubrey Mister streaking up the near side sideline. Sends one into the box, but Sydney Summer will corral that before the two approaching forwards for O'Fallon could get there to try to do their damage. And it'll be a goal kick restart here for Sydney Summer. Gary pops the ball up. Mister off of her head. To Van Dyke. To Belandis. Belandis circles around her defender and tries to feed a pass for Rader, but again, just a little bit too far. Collinsville's just off on their passes today. Either just a little bit too far or not quite enough. Got to find that happy medium here. Here is Koenig in to keep the ball in bounds. Circle. Try to get around Syverly. Does so. And the ball with a one bounce right to Sydney Summer for another easy save. And Morgan Rader in a battle at midfield trying to get that ball away. And finally, a whistle does allow Collinsville to get a free kick here from midfield. Alexi Munoz will take this free kick. The wind coming from her left to her right. She'll send it starting left, and then it veers back to the right. That wind pushes it down. Jordan Gary gets it, sends it back up, but Belandis wasn't there, and now Belandis gets pushed down from behind, and that's going to belong to O'Fallon. She didn't get pushed down. She got pushed from behind, but never went down. And a throw-in coming up here for Becca Koenig, but not after we have some substitutions. Collinsville will swap out 3. O'Fallon will bring in 1. Jada Parrish back into the game. Hinsey and Fluss also check back in. Alyssa Strobin checks back into the game as well for O'Fallon. We're back to action. Here is Hinsey sending it back to Lydia Fluss. Fluss had that ball knocked away from one of the defenders, and the wind is going to take that one out of bounds. And almost into the stands. Another throw in by O'Fallon. It comes up, and Collinsville's Maria Siverly sends it back to midfield for Hinsey. Hinsey at midfield tried to send it over on the far side for Parrish, but didn't get enough on it again, and that ball ends up going out of bounds in front of the Kahok bench. And it'll be another throw in here for Collinsville. Coming up on 15 minutes to play here in this first half. Georgia Cox and Allison Hennessy check into the game. Cox for the second time, Hennessy for the first. I think everybody's still waiting for some guidance from the IDPH because I don't understand why these girls still have to wear masks, and none of them have it over their faces. They're all hanging around the chin. The other day, I think we had a Belleville girl that had the mask actually on her arm because, that does a world of good. They just need to get rid of this mask stuff here when these girls are outside playing in a sport. Over on the far side, the ball travels. O'Fallon with it in a scoreless game thus far, 0-0 between Collinsville and O'Fallon with just over 14 minutes to play. As the ball again in the O'Fallon offensive zone. Been there a lot today, but so far not a lot of quality chances by either team in their short trips down to the offensive zone. Now Maria Voss will just send it back to Sydney Summer. Summer will send the ball out. Back out to midfield. Gets over Morgan Rader's head, and back to the defense for O'Fallon it goes. Not until a steal. Oh. I don't. Two girls going for the ball. One came away with it, one didn't. I didn't see any kind of infraction there. Free kick here for O'Fallon from midfield. James to take it. All the way up to the front of the box, and now into the box. Picked up by Summer before anyone could get there to try any kind of a shot. Sydney Summer sends it back out to midfield. O'Fallon sends it right back to where it came from. And then Collinsville gets a hold of it and sends it back into the midfield circle. Trying to settle it down over there is Schreckenberg. Back to the defense it goes. Over here to the side for James. James boots the ball up into the offensive zone, and that's going to be offside anyway, even though Siverly was getting ready to chase it down. We're going to have a whistle for a kick. I didn't see what happened there. So James with another free kick about 10 yards closer to the goal than the last one was. She sends it almost screaming off of Morgan Rader. Rader had to be alive there. Parrish almost wrestled that ball away from Schreckenberg. O'Fallon with it in the offensive zone. Nice move there by O'Fallon. Now the ball in the box, and a stop and a shot, and that was not toward the goal. It actually was going the opposite way, but Sydney Summer puts her hands out there and saves it anyway. And we have 12 minutes to go here in this scoreless first half. Summer Sends the ball out to midfield. Storms are supposed to be here sometime between 2:30 and 3:30. Pretty powerful ones from what I hear. We'll just have to keep our eye toward the sky and try to stay safe. Now O'Fallon's dangerous over on the far side. Shot from the wing, and that is stopped. And they're going to say that was offside anyway. So no shot on goal there. And Collinsville will have a free kick right on the front line of the 18-yard box, and it'll be Lexi Munoz. Lexi. She has a deep dark tan that I am so jealous of. Of course, I'm about as white as the O'Fallon jerseys are. At midfield, O'Fallon back into the offensive zone. They push it up, and it's Peterson. O'Fallon setting themselves up for another shot on goal. Here's a quick one, and that one is going to go off of the post. And I think they called it offside anyway, right before that shot was taken. As I tell you what, that was Avery Christopher who had all the room in the world to shoot that one, but offside. So Lexi Munoz once again will send us back to a restart here. She'll send it all the way to midfield, off of a head for O'Fallon, and back into the offensive zone for the Panthers. Collinsville off of another header to Jeremias. Jeremias will just send the ball over to Siverly. Siverly lost the ball. Nice moves and a nice steal there by Strobing, and now she comes in on the left wing and puts on a nice move, and down goes Siverly. She gets herself back up and then bumps off the player, sends it off of the shins of one of the O'Fallon players and out of bounds, so Collinsville will get a throw in here. First, Siverly got burned, and then she stood up and returned the favor, and now she's going to get a little talking to there by the referee. I don't understand. If he didn't like what she did, why didn't he just blow the whistle? Better watch out, young lady. Throw in by Siverly. Up the sideline. Aubrey Mister checks back into the game for O'Fallon. And here comes Knaus. She'll send the ball up and right through the midfielders. Back to the Collinsville defense it goes. And they'll send it back to Summer. That was almost a misplayed ball there. Summer had to come out and be alive as closing in on her was Peterson. And O'Fallon will get a throw in on the far side sideline. Just outside of the 18-yard box. Comes in for Mister. Mister settles the ball down over there on that far side sideline, and we'll send it back to her defense. Defense pops it up in the air. Those are always dangerous, and Summer is there and makes the two-handed catch. No harm, no foul. About 8.5 minutes to go here in a scoreless first half. That 5-0 win at O'Fallon earlier in the year saw the Panthers score 2 goals in the first half and 3 in the second half. Here are the Panthers, and a little move up front by McMinn, and then back to the defense it goes. Nice move there by Hinsey, and then she got tugged on while she was trying to go after the ball. The referee saw everything happen there and blew the whistle, so Collinsville with a free kick, albeit from about 85 yards away from their goal that they're trying to put that ball into the back of. Picked off by O'Fallon. Ball comes up and sent out of bounds by Jeremias. And the ball belongs to the O'Fallon Panthers. Throw in from Koenig coming up as Jordan Gary checks back in, taking the place of Hennessy. Olivia Ori also checks back into the game for O'Fallon. Here is Mister. She takes that throw in from her teammates. Back to the defense. And a bender that tried to find its way to the middle of the field. Jordan Gary trying to get there before O'Fallon can get a shot on. They do, and then Lexi Munoz will send it out of bounds. Munoz again, sends the ball back up toward midfield. Morgan Rader there trying to wrestle it away. She can't. That ball ends up going out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw in right at the end of their bench with 6:50 left to play here in this first half. Throw in, comes in right in front of the Kahok bench. Down it goes, and O'Fallon takes over for a split second. Collinsville had a chance to get that ball out of there, but couldn't do it. And now O'Fallon with it once again on the far sideline. They bring it up into the middle for Aubrey Mister. And a loose ball picked up by Collinsville for a moment, and then Lexi Munoz will go ahead and send that ball out of there. But not that far out of the zone. And O'Fallon circles, and they come back in for another attack right in front of the box. And once again, Collinsville finds the ball. It's Lydia Fluss this time. And they move the ball up into the feet of Georgia Cox. Cox gets a little help from Hinsey. Back over to Cox. Cox trying to fend off her defender. Does so on the side. And then trying to feed it over here to Belandis, but that never made it as it's picked off by Koenig. And then Koenig back up trying to find Mister. Gets past her. And that was offside anyway. So another free kick coming up here for Lexi Munoz. Be nice if we can get some of these free kicks, so let's say around 25 yards away from the goal, but all of them have been like 75, 80. Munoz sends it back past midfield, and it's headed out of bounds by O'Fallon's Mackenzie James, and Collinsville will have a throw in here from midfield. Just a little over 5 minutes to go here in this first half. No score between these two Southwestern Conference rivals. O'Fallon and Collinsville. Up the sideline, and that one didn't hit anyone and goes out of bounds. So, change of possession. O'Fallon throws the ball back in. Knaust gets it right in front of the 18-yard box and brings it up toward midfield. And at midfield, Peterson with it. Back over on the far side now. Right in front of the Kahok bench, and a nice move by Gary to boot that ball off of where it was, and then O'Fallon gets it and sends it back into the offensive zone anyway. Aubrey Mister is there, so is Lexi Munoz, and Munoz will just let Sydney Summer come out and pick the ball up before any further damage can be done. 4:20 left to play, first half action. Last game of the year in the regular season for these two teams. Playoffs get underway Wednesday for Collinsville. O'Fallon will wait to find out who wins between Springfield Southeast and Alton on Tuesday of next week. Collinsville already knows they will be playing Belleville East here Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. Collinsville bringing the ball up. Here's Belandis. Belandis was trying to thread a pass there for Van Dyke, but didn't get enough on it. That's been the story of the day for the Lady Kahawks and their passing. Jordan Gary with a nice pickoff move. Gets it up, and here is Evie Hood coming around on the left wing and sends it into the middle, but no one there for Collinsville. And then it gets sent back out all the way over on the far side. Maria Coca couldn't get there, and that ball ends up going out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for O'Fallon right at the end of their bench, which looks like they've got like 3 people. Yeah, the roster's not that big. They got the 11 starters and then 6 other ones on the roster. Back to midfield we go. And O'Fallon with the ball. And streaking up the sideline with it is Becca Koenig. Koenig puts it toward the middle. And a shot and a save by Sydney Summer on a sliding goal attempt there by Avery Christopher. That was probably the best chance anybody's had all day. Thus far, anyway. Summer sends the ball back out to midfield. Settled down there by O'Fallon. They'll send it back to their defense and Mackenzie James, and she'll just send it back to Grace Vincent. And then Vincent will boot it on over to the other side. Oh, there was a nice move there by Hood. Hood, and the left side, takes a shot. That's going to go wide as well. Every shot Collinsville has taken here this afternoon has gone well wide. That was a nice move by Hood, though. Hood, one of 2 freshmen on this varsity roster. Olivia Johnson, the other one. And O'Fallon just outside the 18-yard box in front of their goalkeeper, Grace Vincent. Bring it out. Up the sideline here. It's Becca Koenig. Koenig sends the ball up to Ori. Ori trying to dance around her defender. Gets the ball up on a nice pass there by Strobene, or to Strobene. And then Strobene almost trips herself up. Comes over on the deep left wing trying to a centering pass. And that one goes across the line. And it'll be a throw in here for O'Fallon. Into the box and across the line. That's going to be a corner kick. Only the second corner kick of this game. Both of them have belonged to the O'Fallon Panthers. And the last corner kick was just a little 3-foot pass. Here is Kylie McMinn. McMinn looks like she's going to take an actual corner kick this time. No one there to take a pass from, and it's high. Going through the other side. Down on the ground it goes. And a shot blocked out by the defense. And then it comes out in front of the 18-yard box. Another shot toward the goal. That one's high and wide. No damage done there. 40 seconds left to play here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and O'Fallon. Sydney Summer ready to send us back to action here. Summer boots it toward midfield. Bounces its way inside the circle at midfield. And settled down there by O'Fallon. They'll bring it back up with just 10 seconds left. And then back out. Collinsville will take over, and they'll boot the ball out toward midfield, and that ought to about pretty much do it for the rest of the time here in this first half. As the buzzer sounds, the end of one half of play, we have a 0-0 score between Collinsville and O'Fallon. So that's the way we stand after one half of play. We are back with the second half in just mere moments. Make that minutes here on the Kahok
Pace
Sports
Design
Network.
and Construction in Maryville. Whether building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466, online at pacedesignconstruct.com, or on Facebook at Pace Construction Design.
Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville, owned by former Kahok Jay Merkel. At Extreme Details, they believe in the value of community and in helping the community hold the value of their vehicles. A sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details offers drop-off, pickup, and delivery service, as well as a mobile service, whether that's a simple wash and wax or all the way up to a full detail job. No job is too big or too small for Extreme Details. Plus, Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal and vacuums every vehicle regardless of what package you choose. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, and more. Extreme Details in Collinsville, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. Call Jay Merkel for an appointment at 301-6033 or 977-1224.
Just because you can cut your own hair doesn't mean you should. The Shop, a great place in Collinsville for men and boys haircuts, is where you should take your hair. The Shop is owned and operated by Collinsville High School graduates Danny Kress and Jody Neiman and is located at 103 South Seminary Street in Uptown Collinsville. The Shop isn't just another place to get a haircut, as Danny and Jody take great joy in getting to know their clients and look forward to turning those clients into friends. When you sit in a stylish chair at the Shop, Jody and Danny pride themselves on getting to know you well enough to say the usual. So, men and boys, if you're tired of the same old cookie-cutter approach to haircuts, check out Danny and Jody at the Shop. You may just walk out with not only a fantastic cut, but you may also walk out with a friend or two. The Shop in Collinsville, 618-772-7175. No appointment necessary. The Shop, 103 South Seminary in Uptown Collinsville.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, now with locations in Collinsville and Maryville, for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo at 345-1121, or visit them with their new locations in Collinsville and Maryville, or online at fnbwaterloo.com. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, fish, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they still cater. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and much more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses as well as delicious sides.
Cafe Agape in Collinsville is the only place to pick up a Kahok sandwich or dog and the new Flamin' Kahok sandwich. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road. Give them a call at 345 Cafe. That's 345-2233. And don't forget to tell them Stewie sent you. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking. Conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100. The reviews are in. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is a hit in the Metro East. Folks both local and just visiting the area are calling Old Herald Brewery and Distillery a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is located at 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville and is home to one of the only restaurants in the state with their own brewery and distillery that produces some of the best brews and spirits in the industry. And the food? All created by an in-house chef using local ingredients that will please any palate. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville has daily specials for both inside diners as well as offering curbside pickup specials and family size specials. And don't forget to take home a bottle or a growler of beers brewed on site at Old Herald Brewery and Distillery. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville. Check their Facebook page for daily specials, online ordering at oldheraldbrewery.com, or give them a call at 855-8027. The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune covers Troy, Collinsville, Maryville, and all the villages and communities of Madison County. From area city halls to sports, including the Collinsville Kahawks and Unit 10 District News. The Times-Tribune covers that and more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper published every Thursday, and a one-year subscription is only $40 for the printed and online editions. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Times-Tribune. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty. Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, your place for online auctioning. Go to ogleauctions.com to check out the week's items up for auction. Ogle Auctions deals in everyday items like board games, t-shirts, clocks, antique items, and more. To collectible items, anyone in the market for, say, a trolley? Or maybe you're into more treasure troves like vinyl albums, cars, or motorcycles. And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more auctionable items. Ogle Auctions of Collinsville. Auctions every Sunday at 7 p.m. Check them out at www.ogleauctions.com or call Kim or Mike Ogle at 618-218-2117. And once again, welcome back to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. I'm Todd Duke. Second half action just about ready to get underway here between Collinsville and O'Fallon. After a scoreless first half, O'Fallon will start with possession of the ball, and we are underway in half number 2. Clouds have thickened up. It's gotten a little darker here as we're expecting some storms to come through a little bit later, but we'll get through this game all right. Sydney Summer stands there with the ball. She will be manning the goal now to your right, while Grace Vincent will manage the goal to your left, or do they change goaltenders on us? Did they change goaltenders on us? Goalkeepers? No? Okay, just checking. At midfield, Collinsville will send it up. And here's Morgan Rader trying to wrestle the ball away. And trying to, but unsuccessful, as Kanowsk ended up taking control of that ball. But here is Sarah Hinsey over to Jordan Gary. Gary puts on a spin move, and another nice move there by Jordan Gary. She comes in, tries to split the defense, and tries to send the ball up to Parrish, but had a little bit too much on that pass, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. O'Fallon, the defense sends it back up. O'Fallon spent a lot of time down at this end of the field in the first half. So far, Collinsville doing the same here in the early moments of the second half. Here is Jordan Gary. Gary circles right at the midfield circle. We'll send it on back to Fluss. Lydia sends the ball past Jeremias, where it's picked up there by the O'Fallon defense. And they'll just shove the ball into the Kahok bench, and Collinsville will get a throw in from in front of their own bench. Not a bad crowd on hand here for a Thursday afternoon. Here is Rader, and the ball go off of, well, how about that? Went off of one of the O'Fallon players and right at the corner flag across the end line, so Collinsville will have their first corner kick of this game. And it will be Sarah Hinsey who will take it over on the far side of the field. First set piece for Collinsville. It's on the way in front and settled down for a moment by Parrish, but that ball had a lot of juice on it. When it hit her, it kept on going, and then a whistle on the play as Maria Voss is going to be guilty of takedown of Avery Christopher, even though she didn't mean to. It still happened. And a free kick coming up here for O'Fallon, but again, a long way between the ball and the goal, occupied by Sydney Summer. Mackenzie James puts a foot into it, sends it past midfield. And Lydia Fluss will send it right back to where it came from. And the ball will roll up the sideline and off of the foot of Bear, and Collinsville will have another throw in. Maria Voss will take care of this throw in. Throws it up the sideline, trying to chase it down is Morgan Rader. Will she get there? No, she will not. And we'll have a goal kick restart. They're just off on all these passes, man. Off the foot, off the hands. Just a little bit off on these passes. Just a little bit too hard or a little bit too soft. If they can figure out the happy medium between the two, we'll have a little bit of action at the goal for you. Vincent sends it back out toward midfield. Jordan Gary uses the noggin all the way up. Morgan Rader is going to try to chase this one down. I don't think she's going to be able to get there again, and she can't. A couple of opportunities here for Collinsville in the offensive zone, but nothing has resulted in a shot on goal as of yet. Right, so now it picks the second half to start glitching. The wonders of modern day technology. Got through a whole entire first half, and then the second half, the camera wants to glitch. Kahawks trying to chase it down over on the far side. Yep, that's not a good thing. I know that when it glitches up, it also messes with the audio, too. Here is Parrish trying to chase it down over on the left wing. Does so, and then it's stolen from her, but right back to Jordan Gary until it is booted out of bounds by O'Fallon. All right. I'm not going to be able to deal with that for the rest of the game. It's probably hard for everybody to watch. So give me just a second, and we'll go back to the regular camera. Oh, did it finally figure itself out? Now it's not glitching anymore? Okay. We'll hang tough with it then. As soon as I sit down in front of my computer and get ready to change things over, it stops glitching. I'll take it. Here comes O'Fallon. They're trying for their first offensive push here in the second half. They send it up outside the box, and a shot and a block out there by Sydney Summer. Nice job by Sydney Summer, blocking out that shot by Aubrey Mister over there on the far side. And O'Fallon sends it back in front of the box, and it's going to come over here to the side, and a little chip shot off the side of the foot for Strobing goes right to Summer. And Sydney takes care of it with no further push toward the goal. Summer sends it out to midfield. Off of the head of one of the defenders for O'Fallon. Gary then pushes it forward off of her head, trying to find Rader. She got there for a second, did Morgan, but she couldn't quite finish up after she got bumped off the ball by one of the defenders. And then O'Fallon will push the ball back into the offensive zone. It'll come all the way up the sideline, and chasing it down there will be Siverly. Siverly will just poke the ball out to Sydney Summer, and Summer will boot it out. Whistle on the play. And Collinsville will get a free kick from in front of the O'Fallon bench. Well, still glitching, huh? And they move in slow motion. Front of the O'Fallon bench. Panthers send it up. Chasing it down, Mister over on the far side. Lexi Munoz is going to meet her there. And Lexi will let the ball bounce off of her and go out of bounds. And it's going to be a throw-in or a corner kick. I believe this is going to be a corner kick. Couldn't tell from my angle if it went across the sideline or the end line. The referee says end line, so a third corner kick of the game for O'Fallon. First corner kick we've had down at this end of the field. And it'll be Kylie McMinn who will take it. It's on the way, and it is up front, and it's in the goal. Aubrey Mister, with her team-leading 21st goal of the year, puts O'Fallon ahead 1-0 with 32:04 left to play here in this second half. And it's 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. So Collinsville will have to play from behind now against a very stellar, defensively sound O'Fallon team. Hennessy splits the defense with the pass, but no one there to collect it. And O'Fallon will take over. And the Panthers back up to midfield. Here is Ori. Ori send it back to Mister. Mister will send it back up through the middle, and it's taken over there by Strobing. And Strobing couldn't handle the ball. Collinsville sends it back to the defense, and the defense sends it back up. Jordan Gary trying to get there. She can't. Ball ends up out of bounds. Throw-in coming up here for the Kahawks. And it'll be Maria Voss. Voss throws it up the sideline. Rader takes care of it. Then it bounces off of Jordan Gary. Comes back to Voss, and then Voss will send the ball bouncing into the box where Vincent will settle it down and get it where she wants it to send it back out, and she'll do so with a little pass. Pass onto the foot of James. James sends the ball back up to midfield, picked up there by Hensey, and now Hensey circles and sends it back to the defense and Lexi Munoz. Munoz gets tripped up, and here is Avery Christopher. The only person back to beat is Fluss, and the goalkeeper. Fluss holds her ground, makes Avery Christopher turn the corner, and then off of Avery Christopher and out of bounds. So Collinsville gets a break there, and Avery Christopher was the only O'Fallon Panther down there. 3 Kahawks, and it goes off of Christopher, and it's going to be a goal kick restart here for Summer. Summer sends it back to midfield, and off of a header, it's sent all the way back. Avery Christopher trying to track it down again. Lexi Munoz gets there instead, and then Munoz pops the ball up in the air, And Fluss will send it back up front. Jordan Gary off of her head. Trying to settle it down. Are the Panthers a shot on goal? And right to Sydney Summer for the save. First 10 minutes gone here in this second half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. 8 minutes into this second half, Aubrey Mister scores her team-leading 21st goal of the year. And that's where we stand thus far. Here's Munoz. Sends the ball up to Hood. To Gary. Gary gets knocked down. No call on the play. Referee had his back turned to the play. That's why. And O'Fallon takes over. Defense brings it up. Here is Koenig. Koenig right in the middle. We're going to let her skate on in there or what? Got to get up there and tackle that girl. There we go. She still manages to get a hold of the ball, and then the ball will end up rolling across the end line, and it'll be another goal kick restart here for the Collinsville Kahawks. Sydney Summer ready to send us back to action. She does. And then the ball gets popped up over there on the far sideline. And it's settled down there by Mister. She'll keep the ball alive and send it up into midfield for Collinsville. Here's Jeremias. Jeremias trying to send it up the sideline and trying to thread a pass onto the foot of Siverly, but that ball was a little bit too far as well. It's been the story of the afternoon here. Missed passes by Collinsville, either too hard or too soft. O'Fallon throws the ball in right in front of the Kahawk bench. And we'll return the favor, and Collinsville will throw it in. Nope, we're going to do it backwards and give it back to O'Fallon now. And we'll do it all over again after that Jordan Gary header ends up out of bounds. Aubrey Mister will throw it in, and she'll throw it into midfield to McMinn. McMinn in the midfield circle. Sends it back to the defense. And Knaust. She'll send the ball back. Hood couldn't get enough on the return pass to get it all the way out to her, and the story of the day continues. That ball ends up going out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in coming up here for Collinsville. And Maria Voss. Voss up the sideline, off of the head of Jeremias, and down for O'Fallon. Defense sends it up. Collinsville sends it right back. And it'll be Vincent who comes way out of goal to put the ball back in play and sends it over to the far sideline, and there is no one there, but on the move is Bolandis. She couldn't get there in time, but it goes off of the O'Fallon player, so Collinsville will have a throw-in. Far sideline just outside the 18-yard box. Throw in up the sideline and off of the head, down the back of Jeremias, and it rolls all the way to Vincent. Vincent throws the ball out. Over here to Bear. Bear comes up the sideline. Pass. Finds the foot of Strobene. Strobene comes up the sideline. Voss is there to knock the ball away from her. And it'll be another throw-in coming up here for the O'Fallon Lady Panthers, as the Panthers want to make a couple of substitutions. It'll be Reagan Schreckenberg who will come in and take the place of Bear. And Savannah Hendrickson checks into the game for O'Fallon. Throw-in comes. O'Fallon trying to put another shot toward goal. Panthers lead by 1. Maria Voss fights for the ball in the corner and sends the ball across the sideline. So it'll be a throw-in here for the newly inserted Schreckenberg, and she does throw it in. And now Collinsville is going to get the ball back. Summer. Sydney Summer. Near the corner kick flag will send us back to action as the Sun makes a triumphant return. Sent back up the middle. Fluss will send it back out to midfield or close to midfield. And then the Kahawks trying to wrestle the ball away. Can't do it. Nice move there, and Naroda ends up with the ball. Now over to Schreckenberg, and then back out to midfield, and a foul against Collinsville. A free kick coming up here for O'Fallon. It'll be taken by Kylie McMinn. From about 45 yards away. McMinn, she's ready. Punches it. High and off of a head. And in. Aubrey Mister does it again. Second goal this afternoon for Mister, and now 22 on the year. Everybody kind of committed to that ball and left the goal wide open. Mister, she just jumped in the air and took it off the head, and in it goes, 2-0 O'Fallon. So 2 goals here by Aubrey Mister have broken a 0-0 tie and have given O'Fallon a 2-0 lead. And with that defense they have, that would seem like it would be an unsurmountable lead. But you got to keep on playing, and hopefully we can figure out a way to get one on goal and into the back of the net. Collinsville throws the ball up near sideline. Jeremiah's trying to chase it down, and she does so by knocking down her defender. And it'll be a free kick here for O'Fallon. Well, now we're going to have maybe an injury. The young lady who got knocked down, Caitlin Knost, now she gets back up. But she's going to be taken off the field. She'll jog off the field under her own power. And Ella Peterson in to take her place. Defense will take care of the free kick. And McMinn sends the ball up. Collinsville intercepts to Hood. Hood tries to flick the ball back to Hinsey, and then they tried to flick the ball over here to Gary, but never made it to her. Now Gary comes away with it. Nice move. Jordan comes up the near sideline, tries to make a turn in that left wing, and then off the back of one of the O'Fallon players, and it stays in bounds. I'm sure she was hoping it was going to go across the end line, and now here is, oh, that was a nice move by Mister. Georgia Cox took too long to try to get that ball and a shot on goal, and Mister came up right behind her and knocked the ball away from her. Now Georgia Cox runs into Siverly, and Siverly and Cox will take control of the ball. Now Georgia with it over on the far sideline. A little flip pass up the sideline, and coming up with it is Belandis. A shot toward the goal, but never did make it on goal. Jordan Gary trying to race there before the ball goes over the sideline, but she'll be tardy in that effort. 22 minutes left to play here in this second half. 2-0 now in favor of O'Fallon. And another throw-in coming up here for the Lady Panthers. Up the sideline. Collinsville takes over. Hood sends it back to Maria Voss on the defense. Voss tries to pop one in front of the box. That's going to be rejected, though, by the O'Fallon defense. And then the ball ends up going in front of the Kahok bench. Collinsville makes some more substitutions. 3 in, 3 out. Parrish comes back in, as does Rader. And Van Dyke. Throw in comes and straight down to Van Dyke. Back to where it came from. And in the middle, Parrish trying to track it down. She couldn't get there in time. And Maria Voss sends the ball up, but it's picked up there by O'Fallon. And Voss fell down. She has to get back on her defensive post. She does so. And then the ball sent up, and here's an opportunity for Naroda. She has banked it off of Munoz. And then Collinsville will send the ball back out, but it's blocked. And it comes back to Voss. Voss then sends it back out toward the midfielders area. Van Dyke trying to wrestle it away. She can't. Goes all the way over to the other side of the midfield circle. And that's where James takes over. James sends the ball up, and it is Siverly who will send the ball skirting up the sideline. I don't know if that ball's ever going to go out of bounds. It's skirting the line, so Jeremias is there to try to chase it down, and she's going to have a little battle on her hands, and now the whistle blows. Offside is the call, and here is Vincent, who will send the ball back out. Instead, she'll just flip a pass over here for McMinn. McMinn flings the ball up, but it doesn't make it that far. Parrish, she couldn't handle it. Gets taken off the ball. And O'Fallon, again at midfield, sends it up into the midfield circle. Ori sends it up, and here comes Aubrey Mister over on the left wing. Her and Avery Christopher in there together. A shot and a goal by Mister. Nope, that's on the outside of the net. Kind of confuses you sometimes when you see that net move. Mister and Christopher almost had a little tag team going on there. And Sydney Summer will send it back out toward midfield halfway through second half. After a scoreless first half, Aubrey Mister picks up her team-leading 21st and 22nd goals of the year. And O'Fallon has a 2-0 lead. Lexi Munoz gets us back into action. Sends the ball far, and then off of a head, it's going to roll all the way to Vincent. She'll settle it down and send it back out on a little pass. And then back to the defense for O'Fallon. They'll send the ball up. And then over on the far side, back up to midfield it goes. Trying to chase it down over there is Ori. She can't, as it's poked out of bounds by Gary. And a throw in for the Panthers right in front of their bench. Gary sends the ball up to the... And then a loose ball at midfield picked up by the Panthers, who right now would just like to waste as much time as they can with their 2-0 lead, trying to secure a Southwestern Conference victory. And they will win the championship outright today with a win. Then it would not matter what happens in the Edwardsville-O'Fallon contest. And here is Aubrey Mister in a battle over there with Morgan Rader. Mister sends it up the sideline and then right back to Mister, and she'll try to pop it up the sideline for a little spring pass, but it didn't work. Blocked out. Collinsville picks it up, takes it out to midfield. Send it back onto the foot of Schreckenberg. Now Lexi Munoz with it, sends it back out to midfield. Jeremias was trying to get there first, but she didn't make it. McMinn did. And O'Fallon with the ball at midfield once again. Up in front of the box here is Christopher. Christopher comes in close, shoots, and scores. Avery Christopher picks up her 14th goal of the year. And after a scoreless first half, O'Fallon has rattled off 3 unanswered goals. Got some dark clouds out to the south, but so far, nothing's moving in this general direction as of yet. That, from what I understand, will be a little bit later today. Still haven't heard an official cancellation of the baseball game. So as of right now, it's still on, which means that I'll be heading over to Woodland Park here in a little while, depending on what happens between now and then. So the Kahawks trail. 2 goals by Aubrey Mister and 1 by Avery Christopher, and has given O'Fallon a 3-0 lead. Another free kick coming up here for O'Fallon. This one's going to be from about 50 yards away, and it'll be taken by Kylie McMinn. McMinn sends the ball on a line drive and a one bouncer right to Sydney Summer just as Christopher was closing in. Summer boots it all the way back out to midfield. Settled down there by Jeremias. Jeremias trying to split the defender. She does. Got around two, couldn't get around the third. But Morgan Rader picks up the ball and tries to feed it back to Jeremias. And then Jeremias, a little sliding tackle over there, has the ball go off of one of the O'Fallon players. So Collinsville will get a throw in over on the far side. So right now, Cahoks have been outscored by O'Fallon in the two games 8-0. 5-0 in the first game, and so far 3-0 here in this one. Jordan Gary uses the head. Back out to midfield it goes. Van Dyke trying to settle it down. She couldn't, as her and Grace Lanier both backed off the ball. Couldn't decide which one wanted to take it. Jordan Gary does. Sent back, and then they'll push it all the way back to Sydney Summer. And Summer will settle it down before sending it back out. Instead, she sends it over to Siverly. Siverly gets taken down hard. No whistle on the play. And then a ball popped up into the box. Summer comes out before Christopher could get there to do any damage. And Summer will send us back to a start here with 14:20 left to play here in this second half. 3-0 O'Fallon after a scoreless first half. O'Fallon's poured it on here in the second half. And again, O'Fallon coming in for another scoring opportunity. Here is a chance, but man, Lexi Munoz holding her own over there on defense, as she normally does. Loose ball, picked up by Collinsville, sent back out to midfield. Jeremiah's trying to track it down, but she's got a couple of defenders waiting for her, and the defense takes over. And then that defender and Jordan Gary run smack dab into each other. That was Caitlin Knaust. And then Jordan will just send the ball out to midfield and tumble to the ground once again. Yeah, all the dark clouds are out to the left. That would be the south. Taking a look out the door here, you can see that just north of St. Louis, they got some dark clouds too. Yes, you can see downtown St. Louis from the press box now that this whole wooded area behind us has been cleared out. Play at midfield. Ball sent up, and O'Fallon looks for another scoring opportunity, and they might get one here over on the far wing, but getting there just in time was Siverly, but they're going to say that was offside even before Siverly got a hold of the ball. So we may have some baseball for you this afternoon. My guess is probably not, but we might. Big track and field meet tomorrow. Boys Kahok Track and Field Invitational. We'll be here for that one. Saturday morning, we'll be back at the Collinsville Sports Complex for a little Lady Kahok softball. And then Tuesday of next week, we have the finale of the baseball season as Nashville comes to town to take on your Kahawks, and that's our last regular season game of the year before the playoffs begin 2 days later. Softball playoffs and soccer playoffs on the same day. Softball playoffs at 4:30. Soccer playoffs at 7 o'clock. We'll have both of those games for you here on the Kahok Sports Network. Here is Jordan Gary out to midfield. Gives the ball up now to Fluss. Lydia circles with it. Sends it back to the defense and almost misfired, and actually does so as Avery Christopher got her foot on that ball first. And then O'Fallon brings the ball up, and Kalissa Strobing unable to handle it. Aubrey Mister sitting on the bench. She's probably done for the day. They'll rest her up for the playoffs. Just my guess. After she scored that second goal. Parrish settles it down, then gets bumped off the ball, and that one is going to belong to Collinsville, and we'll have another throw in here by Maria Voss. Voss throws it up the sideline, but it was a good thing there that Jeremias missed the ball, because she missed it, went right off of the head of Schreckenberg and out of bounds. So another throw in coming up here for Collinsville. This one will be from midfield as Parrish goes off for Evie Hood. Jeremias couldn't handle that one. It goes out of bounds, so we'll switch ends, and it'll be a throw in here for O'Fallon as we approach the final 10 minutes here of this second half. Collinsville trailing 3-0. And another throw in coming up here for O'Fallon. Oh, they switched that one up, and it belongs to Collinsville, but now it's not. I think that was just what happened the last time. Jeremias had it go out of bounds off of her body, and she gets another chance at it, and the same thing happens. O'Fallon and their defense on the move. Up to midfield. Christopher circles at the midfield circle and the Kahok logo, and then sends it up the far sideline for Koenig. Koenig trying to get around Siverly. Does so, and Sydney Summer will come out and scoop that ball up before Ori could get there to put another shot on goal. Summer pops it back all the way out to midfield. Hood uses her head to chase it down. And then Lydia Fluss, as well as Siverly, couldn't decide which one wanted to go for the ball. Then they both peeled off, and that gave O'Fallon another scoring opportunity. And a yellow card issued to Maria Voss will give O'Fallon a free kick from about 25 yards out. So Voss has to come out for a moment. And it'll be Kylie McMinn to take this free kick. Small little three-person wall set up right in front of the 18-yard box. And McMinn fires. And fires too high. 9 minutes to go here in the second half. 3-0 in favor of O'Fallon. Summer ready for another goal kick restart to get us back to action here. It's low, not very far, and Collinsville settles it down, but picked up there by the midfielders for O'Fallon. They'll send it up for the forwards to try to get another shot on goal. Here is Koenig. Koenig up on the far side. Jordan Gary there trying to trace it down. And out of bounds off of the O'Fallon player. Nice breeze blowing around the area, too. Always get those pushes of wind right before storms move in. And earlier, the wind was blowing right at the press box. Now it appears to be coming more from the north. That was offside, so no goal. And Alexi Munoz will send us back to action. She boots it toward midfield. Settled down by Fluss, who sends it up, trying to find Belandis. And then Hood and her defender run into each other. And then the ball gets past the Collinsville defense, and Lydia Fluss will just send the ball over the sideline. It'll be another throw in here for O'Fallon. Right in between both of their legs. The two number 12s, they stood there and ball bounced right between both of their legs and went out. And Collinsville comes up with it. Hood, though, turns it over. One number 10 to the other number 10. That is Ella Peterson. And O'Fallon brings it back into the offensive zone. The Panthers already leading 3-0. Really just looking for an opportunity to waste time, O'Fallon is. They'll keep on passing the ball back and forth to each other all day long if you let them. Now a chip shot toward the goal, and Christopher was there, and Summer couldn't get there before, and Christopher ended up knocking it out of bounds and over the net. Another opportunity there for O'Fallon. 6:25 left to play here in this second half. 3 goals in the second half by O'Fallon after a scoreless first half. All the way back out to midfield off of the head of Jeremias, and now she's trying to chase it down. Got a couple of defenders to beat. She couldn't get past the final one, and that ball gets pushed over to the goalkeeper, Vincent, and Vincent sends it back out. And now O'Fallon on the move again, but a turnover, almost a turnover. Thought for a minute there Collinsville was going to get that ball back, but couldn't do it. Another chance for O'Fallon here, but that pass is too hard, and it'll roll all the way to Sydney Summer. 5.5 minutes to play here in the second half of the season finale for both of these teams. Next up on the schedule, playoff action. 6 days from now. There's Jeremias trying to track that ball down. She does, and she'll put one toward the middle of the box, hoping that someone wearing the purple and white could get there, but Belandis was a little bit late. She almost stole the ball away from the defender in the process anyway. But the defense wins over, and they'll come back out, and O'Fallon's all the way back up to midfield. That ball knocked off of the shins of Jordan Gary and out of bounds. And at midfield, O'Fallon with it once again. Did have a little shower that came through about 9:30 this morning when I was on my way to get some breakfast to come up here. And a shot toward the goal, but looks like Lydia Fluss is hurt. And the referee is going to be calling for a medical trainer to come out. Looks like Fluss took one off the shin or off the kneecap. Clock stopped with 4:26 left to play. So we'll step aside and take a bit of a break ourselves. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports
Looking
Network.
for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food, like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice. The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org. Back here at Kahawk Stadium, I'm Todd Duke, and Lydia Fluss had to actually be carried off of the field by the trainers and the coaches and placed into the golf cart. So we hope she'll be all right, but she won't be back tonight. As we have 4:26 left to play here in this
Second half, 3-0 in favor of O'Fallon, and O'Fallon on their way to capture their first ever Southwestern Conference Girls Soccer Championship. Hard to believe. Been playing girls soccer since the late 70s, and no conference championship until now. Here is Vincent coming all the way out of goal, and she'll send it back out to midfield as we're back underway after the injury timeout. And O'Fallon already with a 3-0 lead. And looking for more. Trying to battle it out over there in front is Koenig. And then Koenig will get the ball right back. She'll circle. And now onto the foot of Ella Peterson. Peterson sends one into the corner and trying to chase it down over there, and with success is Ori. Ori gets around her defender and puts one toward the goal. It's blocked out by Collinsville, and the Kahawks will send the ball back out here to this near side sideline, but it's brought down by Schreckenberg, but then it's picked up by Evie Hood, and the freshman races through midfield. Tries to send the ball up to Jeremias, but too much on that ball, and Jeremias is not going to get there before the defender does, as Jeremias will try to knock that ball away, but couldn't get there, and that ball pushed out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in right near the corner flag here on the near side sideline for Collinsville. I don't know if Lydia got kicked in the shin or kicked in the knee, but it was definitely that left leg that she was holding. Collinsville looking for their first goal of the game, trying to avoid back-to-back shutouts to the O'Fallon Panthers. Here is Evie Hood. The freshman puts on a nice move, puts it toward the goal. No one is there, though. And it's sent out by a bunch of ladies wearing white. Only one purple jersey was back there in that fray, and that ball never made it close to her. And a pass on up to Koenig. Koenig working her way up to the front of the box. Now over on the left wing, Munoz is there, and Lexi steals the ball and sends it back up to midfield as we approach 2:15 left to play here in this second half. I understand they're going to have a trophy presentation here after this game in recognition of the very first ever Southwestern Conference Championship by the O'Fallon Panthers. Collinsville had 7 of those in a row. Edwardsville's owned a few. Now a slow roller goes to Summer, and she'll stop it. And Sydney will send us back to a start here with a high drive out to midfield. Pop back into the O'Fallon offensive zone. Final 85 seconds left here in the regular season. O'Fallon will walk away with the win here this afternoon. Right now, 3-0 as they chip another one toward goal that Summer takes care of. And Sydney will slowly send the ball back out. Out to midfield it goes, and O'Fallon pops it right back into the zone. Free kick coming up here for Collinsville, but it's about 80 yards away. Munoz will send it up. And Jeremias picks it up. Tries to thread a pass over onto the far side, but that's rejected by the defense. And now O'Fallon once again trying to put on some offensive pressure. Syverly tries to chase it down, and I think Sydney Summer got just enough of that to change the course of direction, and that ball stays out of net. It's going to go across the end line, and O'Fallon's going to have a corner kick here if they can get it off with the final 12 seconds left to go here in this one. And they'll just send a pass out front. And another nice move there, and a shot toward the goal, saved by Summer down on the ground, and that ball is in right at the buzzer. It is going to be a 4-0 final. They count that? I don't know who got it either, but we'll go ahead and count it. 4-0 ends up being the final as the O'Fallon Panthers blank the Collinsville Kahawks in both games this year, outscoring Collinsville by a score of 9-0. And that will bring us into our post-game program brought to you by Chiropractic Works. Chiropractic Works, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 343-3602 or online at chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Clay Smith out on the field. As Clay Smith presents the trophy. First time ever that the O'Fallon Lady Panthers have won a Southwestern Conference championship. They get the trophy handed to them, and they're all joyous and celebratory. And the Kahawks lose this one by a score of 4-0. We're back to wrap it up in just a moment as the Chiropractic Works postgame show continues here on the
As the
Kahawk
Director of
Sports
Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach. Whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues, we have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach. Whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues, we have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. O'Fallon wins this one by a final score of 4-0. It was a scoreless game through the first half until the second half began, and then Aubrey Mister, who came into this game with 20 goals scored on the season, scored not one, but 2 goals in the second half. The first one just about 8 minutes after the second half began. And then about 8 minutes after that, she scores another one to make it 2-0. Avery Christopher added a goal at the 16:32 mark of the second half to make it 3-0. And then just as the clock hits 0, another goal goes in for O'Fallon. Not sure who scored it. I'm sure the only one who really cares is the one who did score it, as O'Fallon was already going to win the game anyway by a score of 3-0, but it ends up being a 4-0 score. Still not sure if we're going to have baseball for you this afternoon. We'll keep our eyes toward the skies, and of course, if we don't, we will let you know that we will not be doing the baseball game. And if not, then we'll be back here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. It is the boys' track and field Collinsville Kahok invite here, as we have a bunch of schools showing up for a full day of track and field activities. And then Saturday morning, more softball action for you as Belleville East comes to town for a 10 o'clock start over at the Collinsville Sports Complex. And then Tuesday, we will wrap up our regular season with a baseball game between Collinsville and Nashville before we start playoffs 6 days from today. So that's going to do it for here. As soon as we find out anything about baseball, of course, we will let you know. And until then, my name is Todd Duke. Enjoy the rest of your day.